I live death every day.
When footsteps fall in eldritch hollows, and spectres flee into the shadows, that is the time when horror's heroes abound, culling the ghouls that go bump in the night.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Shanth Enjeti Art. My name is Shanth Enjeti, and we're coming to you live from Lovecraft Country in the birthplace of American religious liberty, and I'm trying a new camera setup today. So, excuse me. I've got a commission that's on canvas, and I've also been thinking about doing some canvas paintings on stream. And as such, I wanted to test out a new setup. I've got a vertical desk easel in front of me and all of that kind of stuff. What's up, Soul Curialt? How you doing, man? It is good to see you. Let me say hello to the chat. We've got channel member Soul Curialt. We've got Timmy Mello, channel member. We've got Spaceman, channel member in the house. We got anybody else? Okay, those are my channel members. What is up, Awesome One? What is up, Michelle? What is up? Who am I missing here? Hang on a second. Did I get Michelle? There we go. And then let me see who else I've got. All right, I think I've got my people. So yeah, I've been working on this this painting for the last couple of days, and I was thinking there's got to be a way for me to set things up so that I can work and I can show you this process in decent resolution. So I don't know. We'll see how it holds up. I'm still having trouble for some reason. Whenever I go live in Ecamm, it tells me that I can't stream to X, and do I still want to go ahead, which I just click yes. But I've got to figure out why all of a sudden I'm not able to stream to X. But I'm sure I can figure it out. I'm sure it's something simple I need to do, you know, confirm something or whatever else. But we'll go with what we go with here. So yeah, I'm working on this painting on canvas of a Templar knight fighting a dragon and rescuing a damsel, and I wanted to see what happens if I try to set it up and Bob Ross it. And so we'll see how that goes, guys. Let me know how it comes together. It's great to see you guys. I enjoyed seeing a lot of you guys last night too when we were streaming. What is up? Thank you, Lord Hinson, Comics Gator. Yeah, I don't know if I'm that funny, but I know I laugh. And happy Sunday, Gen X Catholic. It is great to see you, brother. How are you doing? Saying hello to Timmy. Where did I miss Gen X Catholic up in here? Were you in here sooner? Or maybe someone just spotted you. But it is good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well on this fine Sunday. Let me see here. All right. So yeah, I've got my sketch that some of you guys have probably already seen that I painted in gouache, which typically... I was talking to my friend Eric Weathers. Many of you guys might know him, the letterer on Nosfero the Crypt Walker, which is available now on Indiegogo. You can get that in the link at the top of the description for this, and your support is important. There's an art-only edition, so if you like these paintings and you like this stuff, not only can you get the second edition of the book, or, should you choose, the first edition of the book. But you can also get yourself an art-only edition, which is going to be almost like a third art book in that sense. So I thank you guys for your support. It's funded, and I'll be closing that down as soon as I am ready to go to print with it, which won't be long. So make sure you jump on it if you haven't yet. So this is me working with heavy body acrylics on canvas, and I'll walk you through the process. If you have any questions, feel free to fire away. I am here. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Lord Hinson, Comic Skater. I do appreciate that. Would the damsel's gown be by any chance diaphanous, says Spaceman? Oh, you know that it's got to be diaphanous, my friend. You absolutely know it's got to be. Because that's how I roll, and that's why, what they pay me for, man. And, that's what I gotta do. Gotta paint it diaphanous. Yeah, I mean, I love classical illustration. One of the things that's been so fun about doing this painting and reconnecting with canvases, there's something very, difficult to describe, but there's something very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a deeper experience, at least for me, painting on canvas for some reason, and I'm not somebody who grew up a painter. Let me be clear. I was drawing on Bristol with pen and ink for as long as I could. I didn't get into painting, let alone on canvas, in any serious way until I was in my 30s, maybe my late 30s even. So I don't know exactly what that is, and maybe it comes from growing up watching Bob Ross for all I know, and that's as close to a meditative experience as you can find on a art program, but who knows? But I love that thing. There's my man, Mark's Music Obsession. It's great to see you out walking, back soon. Sounds good. And don't you guys worry, this isn't going to be a long stream, but I will be back again. I do have to pick up the missus at the airport. I was on a stream till really late last night. I was worried about whether or not I would wake up. I forgot it was daylight savings time, and I still beat the count, guys. I still woke up, at like 8:30 after going to bed at I think it was like maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it's one of those things where when it's time to wake up, it's time to wake up. That's just how I work. So here we go. And this is a part that I've been really wanting to do, because in the sketch, which for those of you guys who haven't seen it, this right here is the sketch that I created for this painting. So this was done in gouache. So I try to solve the important things in gouache before I start working on the actual painting. And one of the things about my collectors and the people who collect my work, thank you, Past Master Dan and Hale. God bless you, man. It's good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. But one of the things that is kind of strange, or is a part of this, is most people who collect my work, they have first refusal on the sketches for their painting, and most people buy the sketches. And I mean, there have been tracing paper transfers that people have bought who saw them on my my Instagram. It's just the way it is. People want to collect originals. There's less and less original artwork being made, let alone hand-signed, fully painted comic books and all that other stuff. So it's kind of a cool thing to be in a space that I never could have imagined, because painting was not something that I was a natural at, and it was not something I ever thought I was going to do. But as I said when I left my teaching job, with hard work and dedication and God's good grace, things will work out if you just kind of direct yourself in the right direction and just be open to things. And that has been really the amazing thing about all of this stuff, the streaming, all of you guys who are channel members. I appreciate you guys so much, and your support and your continued support is very uplifting. I mean, the best thing people do for this channel, and it still is something that I've got to wrap my head around, is gifting memberships. Because when you guys have been gifting memberships, the cool thing that comes out of it is people who are new members, they get alerts, they find out when the streams are happening. So it actually helps promote the channel in a really, in a way I didn't even understand what it was at first when I saw that was an option. So it's kind of weird, but you guys who show up all the time, and you guys who put the information out on Twitter, and come and just watch this, on X, you guys come and watch the streams, you make all this stuff possible. And that's the fun of what I do. So kind of being open to the possible, and you guys being open to the possible. So, I mean, the last thing I thought I was going to be doing is a whole new camera setup, but you've got to have that drive in you to improve, constantly. whether someone's asking you to or not, and that's the kind of key to making sure you are bringing the best of yourself whenever you're presenting stuff to the audience. And so that's something I've been conscious of it, and trying to be conscientious of it, conscientious about it, I should say. You know, and it's wild to think of the opportunities that we have right now to work in front of the audience and to talk to you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Let me see. I love Bob. Yes, what a kind soul indeed. He actually inspired my wife to become an artist, go to art school, and that's how we met. So Bob Ross is gold in this household. Yes, he was. And he had a much more interesting life, which I'm sure you guys know, but then the kind of, you know, cartoonish, you know, oh, he's just this nice guy who never experienced, you know, any hardship or loss, or, you know, never faced challenges in his life. He did all of that stuff. He experienced all of that stuff. And still, he realized that you could bring light into this world with your positivity, and you could bring light into this world by trying to inspire people to really connect, not only with painting and not only a joy of painting, dare I say, but to connect with, as he said, make friends with critters. Go outside, make friends with a tree. I love that guy. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And he had a huge, huge fondness for the animals he rehabilitated, including Pocket Squirrel, who used to have this little squirrel that would come out of his pocket when he was painting. And you'd go, all right, I knew this dude was a little squirrely. Old man joke intended, but wow. What a legend, man. What's up, Toshiro? It is good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Many Mifunes to you. Caleb Reynolds, it's great to see you. Good morning, and hail to you, brother. It's great to see you. Yeah. He was, Bob was a special kind of cat, and from beyond the grave, he is still crushing me on YouTube, because that is how Bob rolls. He doesn't need to know what the battlefield is. Bob Ross is in it to win it. And it just goes to show you the power of that kind of, you know, authenticity, and he's just a genuine guy. You can't fake that for that many episodes. It's a little known secret that if you're not really positive, I've been on YouTube now for over 5 years. I remember when YouTube said, this is your 5-year anniversary, and I thought, my God, has it really been that long? And, you know, it's a part of what we do in Comicsgate. It's a part of what we do to promote ourselves and promote our work. It's sort of a responsibility. And, but it was new to me 5 years ago. And when I think about how far I've come in terms of understanding this stuff, and how grateful I am to actually fire up a random stream to test out my equipment and have all of you guys show up, you know, that's, I'm never, yeah, I'd never take that for granted. It's not, I'm not built that way, you know, I'm not built that way. Oh, audio is a bit low. It's because I'm turning away from it. The mic setup to get all this together is a bit janky. Let me see if I can boost it a little bit. Let me know if that's any better. Apologies. Yeah, I kind of have it a little ways away. And, that's, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Let me see if this does anything. Let's try this. Don't know if this is going to work, but it's always worth a try. So, input. Remove this. Oh, for heaven's sake. Hold on a minute. How is this? Is this way too loud now? Am I blowing everybody's, Yeah, because I just went in and did something. Sorry if I'm buffering. Let me see. How's that? Is that any better? Let me know. Quiet time with Shanth. Lloyd, this should look, be of interest to you, my friend, and it's good to see you, brother. How are you doing, man? That's right, quiet time. Oh my God, I can't yell at you guys. That would be tragic. I know. I'm so sorry if it looks bad. Let me check and see what the quality is. Let me just see what it looks like. Looks okay here, but I'm not sure. Hopefully it's not too terrible. Okay, is that much better? Okay, all right. Okay, excellent. Thankfully, I don't have my earphones in. Oh my God, sorry guys. Sorry about the noise here. Like I said, Lloyd, and it's great to see you. Hail channel member and OG Lloyd Burton, and collector for that matter. It is great to see you, my friend. I hope you are well, and I hope everything is going great in your neck of the woods. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Oh my God, I'm so far behind on the chat. Good morning, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. I hope you're doing well. Apex Comics, hello and good morning. It is great to see you guys. Thank you for dropping a like, and thank you for getting the word out on X that I'm streaming. I was just sort of doing this as a test because I want to be able to show you guys the painting process when I'm working on canvas. And as I was saying, before, and the reason the subject of Bob Ross came up was because I think that there's a very meditative and calming quality that sort of takes us back to, that time when you see people working, with traditional media, and you're able to get right up on the canvas. And in this case, that is what, requires camera resolution and better bandwidth. Then I'm guessing I'm using dial-up somehow without knowing it. But I'm asking a lot of my technology. And I am quite certain I'm going to have to upgrade everything soon just because of what I ask of this thing. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And that's the fun of this stuff. What is up, Mighty Geek Studios? Yep, testing new equipment, my friend. I got you way back past Master Dan. Good to see you as always, says Timmy Mello. Yeah, I want you guys to be able to have that experience, of, like, I was thinking about this the other night, and we're so fortunate with the technology we have to be able to do all the things that we do. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. I appreciate that so much, Apex Comics. Thank you so much, man. I love Nosfero. The link is in the description if you guys missed it. That story is, I really do think that it captures the kind of beauty that I wanted the story to capture, and it has that anti-nihilistic quality that I think is at least what motivates me. It motivates me because I just think it's nihilism is such a cop-out, and it's such an easy road to go down. And I don't say that because I've never experienced it, believe you me. But when you get to the end of that road, there's nothing for you, and there's nothing for anybody else. And then you sort of realize, well, hey, if I've gone so far down this road, why not try the other direction? I can survive this direction, but it's miserable. Why not try the other direction? And that's been a huge factor for me in what I do. Hey, what's up, Bisco? How are you doing, my friend? Hey, hi, Shanth, and hi, chat. Hail to you, brother. Let me see here. Apex Comics. Everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. And happy Sunday to all. Like I said, I'm going to do this for a little bit, testing out the equipment. I want to get it in front of you guys and just see how the system handles it and see if the camera is able to capture. I don't know how well it's broadcasting, but the camera is at the very least able to capture what's happening on screen. And that's the big part of this, which means that, it does allow me to do things like pre-recording things and stuff like that, as well as live streams. So let me just get that cheekbone in there. But yeah, this is sort of the early sort of initial breakdown and underpainting aspect of this. And I haven't painted a dragon, I don't think, in many years. I don't think I could remember the last time I painted one. And so the opportunity with this painting is to do something that I have not done in a while with the skill set that I have now, and to make something beautiful for a true collector of the work that I make. And if that doesn't motivate you and excite you, I don't know what does. For me, that's huge. The art is great on Nosfero. Well worth the wait. Thank you, Lloyd Burton. I appreciate you, as you know, so much. And I love doing this stuff. The Dwagon. Indeed, indeed. 100%, guys. And there's a link to a book on Fund My Comic called Fembat. I actually brought up that campaign last night when I was over on John's. Bruce Campbell's chin. How are you doing, my friend? Puts a huge smile on my face with that. Oh, my gosh. It's great to see you. It's great to see you, my friend. Let me see here. Okay, I've got that and that. But, the dragon, I was, of course, I'm referencing, and forgive my pronunciation, but I'm referencing Sigurd and Fafnir. Whenever I paint dragons, I like to kind of go back to the source that inspired, Tolkien and, Beowulf and all of these, incredible, really ancient stories of humanity, because you'll get something that is very rich, very, detailed. And, I say this a lot, and it's very true. When you're an artist, you have a certain amount of paintings in you. And every painting you do, you want to make sure that you have a connection with it, that it's something that is important to you. And I don't do a lot of commissions, but this is a commission, for someone who is a collector of the work and someone who, I've come to know, and I wanted to, and I've been brainstorming on it, what it could be, and, there's no time like the right time, as they say. And I just was like, one day I was like, all right, I'm ready to do the painting. I know what I'm going to do now. I know what I want it to feel like. So, and then we just go straight ahead on it. So look at the drama we're going for. I love the idea of the shield and, the jaws of the dragon. And then it's just this, this prodigious dragon. I mean, he's inside between its shoulder and its head, and it's still encircling him, and the same thing goes with the damsel in distress, in diaphanous dress, as we say. Let's see, everybody's saying, yeah, how to slay, train, ride your dragon. Yeah, what's so funny is I know I've said this before, but I think the last time I drew dragons, is that right? I think the last time I drew or illustrated dragons was when I was doing concept art for DreamWorks Consumer Products on How to Train Your Dragon. The first movie, yeah, like there was, I got hired to be a part of a team that just sort of brainstormed different ideas for dragons to fill out all of their licensing stuff, and it was a blast. Did it with a buddy of mine who does a lot of contract work for DreamWorks, Hasbro, Mattel, that kind of thing, and people are thankfully grateful for this, looping me on to interesting projects and jobs. So that was a blast to do that stuff. I have that sketchbook kicking around here somewhere. I also did some stuff for Consumer Products to come up with ideas for monsters versus aliens, and I had fun with that because I'm a monster kid, so I'm kind of old school monster kid with that stuff. So that was also fun. But those jobs are chances to really be as creative as you can be, and really push yourself and try to come up with things that with other talented, highly skilled artists at the same time. I mean, I was on another person who was doing sketches and who was working, on that project was Nico Marley, who's this outstanding concept artist. And the gentleman who was directing me was having, meetings with him and kind of talking to them about how they could turn How to Train Your Dragon, which was a very young kid's book, how they could turn that into something that would sell, that they could pitch to people to finance the film and want to buy products for it. And I think its success speaks for itself. So it was a lot of fun to go see the movie with that friend of mine and see that work up on the screen, because it was a very different project when it started. Not sure if you caught my comment. Oh, I probably may have missed it earlier on the dragon, but it reminds me of Apophis, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, the underworld serpent of Egyptian lore, where the night symbolizes Ra as they engage in combat night versus day. Wow. Timmy, you're always bringing the heat. It's early on a Sunday, man, and you're taking me to school here. I appreciate it, my friend. Dang. Lord Hinson, Comic Skater. We watched Monsters vs. Aliens all the time. My kids love it. Thanks for your workshops. Well, I mean, I only did a small bit on consumer product stuff, but I thank you for that. I appreciate that. I love doing work, and I'm glad your family enjoys the movie. Some very good people worked on it. Hail, Bordeaux. How are you doing, my friend? Oh, gosh, I'm missing so much. Let me just see here. But he's saying hello to each other. Arthurian legends are better, in my opinion. Yep, I have a whole book on King Arthur. Let's see if I can see it from here. Got Robin Hood by Wyeth. I do have King Arthur somewhere, illustrated by N.C. Wyeth, so I do love that stuff. And How to Train Your Dragon for me was one of those really interesting flicks, because the books were very targeted towards children, but when the movie story idea was reworked because licensors were not interested in it, and my friend who had me work on it with him, was very involved in that. The thing that was great is they pushed the dragon into the idea of the metaphor of taming one's own ego, and that one has to find a balance between their ego and the self, and it's not something to be eradicated, or it's not something to be fought off, it's something to be understood. And when you look at the dragons in that film, every dragon is a metaphor for the person who is riding it. And there were things, if you look at the concept art book, that got changed that to make the story better. They actually had the character of Fishlegs, I believe it was, riding the two-headed dragon, but it was the twins who needed to learn how to work together and stop their bickering that needed to be on that two-headed dragon that needs to work, within itself. Astrid is a bit prickly, but she's also passionate and colorful, and you look at her dragon, you see that metaphor. And in the case of the character of Hiccup, and none of this is in the book, his dragon in that first movie is a straight metaphor for the shadow. And what better way to do that than with that dragon that is essentially shadow. So it's a really interesting thing, but that's why you get called on to these things, and that's what makes me love writing, and all the things I do. I mean, it's there's a certain, you can't fake curiosity and knowledge for very long, particularly on YouTube, but particularly when you're a storyteller. If you don't like humanity, it's going to come out, and if you don't understand humanity, it's going to come out. And Nosfero is a meditation on a certain aspect of the human spirit, and sort of waving a flag for having faith and having a connection to doing what is right and what is good against the forces of darkness, but also realizing that sometimes heroes are forged, and most times you see a lot of heroes forged in adversity, and that adversity is not a death sentence as people have talked about it for too long. That if we protect people from all of the difficulties in this world, it's going to make them stronger, which has never been an idea that's been backed up by evidence. And so, the message of the book is find out how strong you are. Dare to overcome things, or I should say, it's a character that's modeling that behavior. It's not the adversity that makes you bad. It's the adversity that shows you how strong you are. And that's a big factor in my work and in my personal life. That's been a huge, reason for being who I am. So let me see here. Kaiju All Ages Mini Comic, Enforcer Inc. They're like the Avengers from the 1980s, based in San Diego, available in my Fembat campaign on Fund My Comic. And it's great to see Apex Comics. I called that up on John's stream, so I do hope some people checked it out. And I appreciate you. Shanth, Mom is about 60%. Complete putting together the puzzle of your painting. She loves it. I am so glad to hear that, Mark. And wish your mom a happy Sunday for me. Okay? Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, dare to endure. Indeed. Yep. Meet the challenges head on. And I think that was the thing that really attracted me to, the Stoic philosophers. And just thinking about, gosh, Epictetus and his quotes, and him having his leg broken and all of that other stuff when he was a slave, a Greek slave. That stuff is Marcus Aurelius, which my mother-in-law, who's an epic gift giver and knows me well, got me a soft cover of his meditations, which is something I listen to all the time. I have an audio book of it, and I listen to it to get myself in the right place whenever I'm working. Look at this stuff, guys. Look at how fun this is. I hope that what this does is, and you don't have to go and paint a masterpiece. You don't have to make a career out of it. Sometimes when I play the violin for myself. I'm never going to be a great musician. But if you've got a need to paint, you don't need to turn it into a job. You don't need to turn it into your career. But don't miss that opportunity. Don't miss that opportunity to do it, because that's the only way you're going to have that experience. It's like anything else you do. It's like writing in a journal and not having to put it out there for the entire world, or, painting or drawing in your sketchbook. There's a place where we kind of bring ourselves into being and where we're at our most centered, and those things typically don't involve an audience. And if you put that fuel into your system when you're in front of an audience, you can inspire that. But believe me, guys, I wouldn't be any use to you guys if I didn't take the time to do that. You know, you go for it, Paz Master Dan, but be careful. Make sure you're in the right state and county for it. Dare to believe you can survive. You hold the future in your hands. You can win if you dare. Yeah, 100%. And yes, indeed, Mark, you're absolutely right. Hit that like. Thank you so much. Shanth Enjeti Spaghetti, it is good to see you. Immoral Fat 40 ounce. How are you doing, my friend? Oh my gosh. And by the way, that is the easiest cheat for how to pronounce my name. A person is in their own way in one way or another. You know what's so funny is, yeah, the good brother of Stoicism, 100%. You know, 100%. Oh, there you go. I live in Assop, Indiana. I can't find it on a map, but I know it's there because I grew up in my own version of that. But it's, you know, it is an interesting thing for me because I remember thinking, I had this experience when I was young that I don't advise, where I was just enthusiastic. I was just starting to learn how to swim, and I wanted to show a friend of mine I ran into at the swimming pool that I could be in the water. And I remember I jumped as high as I could off the edge of the pool, and when I was in the air, I went, is that a 6 or a 9 foot marker? And then I realized either way I was going to be in way over my head. Way over my head. So I hit the water, and I'm floating under the water, and I'm just going down, and I do not know how to swim barely at all, unless an adult is, like, guiding me. I mean, I must have been, gosh, what was that, 4 or 5? That's, you know, it was nuts. And apparently my family was somewhere else at the pool, and they were, like, trying to get to me and, like, screaming or whatever. But I can remember very clearly, I looked around, I pulled my toes up and my heels so I would sink faster, because I realized, even though I was burning and I needed oxygen, I could walk to the edge of the pool to where I could see the little ladder and pull myself out. And I could jump because I was more weightless. And so I just walked over, got out of the pool, and started gasping for air. But that panic reflex is something that mercifully I didn't have at that, you know, particular time. And oftentimes it allows you to handle things a lot better, to be able to just go, what are the resources I have and what do I need to do? And if it's not possible, that's one thing. But if it is possible, find the way to make it work. And I think that, you know, what I also realized is that if the worst possible outcome is something you can conceive of, then look at the best possible outcome and go for it without apologies or without fear. Because you always know this thing can end. So try to build something, try to grow something, try to put, you know, positivity out there, because the other thing is always on the table. And so deny it and give nihilism no quarter. Let's see who we've got here. Kids float. Yeah, I know, they do. The clown told me so. He was calling me to the pool. Shanth out here raising everyone's blood pressure from the ripe old age of 5. You know it's true. These are the most entertaining... Oh my gosh, thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate that. These are the most entertaining and educational streams. You can tell I was a college professor for almost 20 years, right? And I was a teacher for 20 years for sure. Those were the lyrics from the old Transformers. Yep, 86 movie. You've got the touch. Never forget it, folks. Great music. I support your green thumb endeavors. You see, there's love and support everywhere, man. Oh, I was born in Gary, home of Michael Jackson, right? Gary, Indiana, I think it was. My God, you want to talk about greatness coming out of that place. Holy cow. The Jackson 5. Insanity. But yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know, man. I enjoy people, and I'm always impressed by the wisdom of I find. And I was thinking the other day when I was talking to my brother Nick, who is my brother from another mother and my best friend in the entire world outside of Mrs. Enjeti. And I was talking to him, and I said, you know, the thing about wisdom that's funny is you can find fellowship in people, you can find shared experiences, friendship is such a crucial thing, and I don't know what I would do without this dude in my life. He's such a cool guy. and always so supportive, positive, and thoughtful. But wisdom is really something that you have to cross generational boundaries for. And you got to find that stuff in books. And I do think that spending time with books and, you know, altering the amount of time you read, from how many words in your word count on Twitter and social media versus your word count with, you know, the wisdom of the ancients is going to be good for your soul. And it's not to put the other thing down. You know, human beings have always been social animals. But spend some time with wisdom and you'll be so much better off for it. And same thing again, Bob Ross, go make friends with a tree, go for a walk, grab some paints. If you're looking at this right now and you think, I want to try that, try it, by God. You know, it's so important. Yeah, it is. Parts of it are like a ghost town. There you go. Gary is scary. There you have it. Can see the puzzle in you on the TV. Oh, that's great. I appreciate it, man. That's so cool. Yeah. Let me see. That's eerie, Spaceman. Check the photo of Shanth and the Shanth puzzle. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I see what you're saying. You guys are killing me. That is a trip, man. That's very meta. Shanth out here raising everybody's blood pressure. Yeah, that is for absolute certainty, man. That's for absolute certainty. So let me see here. All right, so I've got this dragon coming together. And now, let me see what I want to do. And, you know, the dragon is such a... I remember hearing... Who was the artist who was saying this? It was one of the artists who worked on Lord of the Rings, and if I saw his name, I would know him instantly. But he's a big fantasy artist, worked on the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit movies and all of that stuff. And he was talking about, you know, not getting too caught up in biology. Like, you do want to have the thing be believable, but trying to write... Let me do this real quick. I want to see if this works. Trying to write... Well, that didn't work at all. Hold on a second. Trying to write a dissertation. Let's put that right there. There we go. That's a little bit of a different view. Trying to write a dissertation on how the fire works, you know, in terms of dragons, isn't going to, you know, necessarily get you the best and most evocative design, because the dragon is this, you know, timeless metaphor that we have. And that timeless metaphor gets its strength from the fact that it is psychological primarily. And its biology is a secondary concern. And, you know, that's the thing that makes this stuff fun. I'm going to play around with this. I want to see what would happen. Oh, this is going to be so fun. I like this phase where I don't even know where it's going yet. I have an idea, but I'm not sure. It was Alan Lee. Thank you. I don't think it was John Howe? No, I think it was John Howe, actually. It was John Howe, I think. Yeah, because it wasn't Alan Lee. Thank you so much. John Howe is who it is. Thank you, Skull Nasher. I appreciate that. Yeah, life has no preference. There you go. Wow, that's terrible. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Wisdom always comes after a journey and... Uh-oh. Oh, sorry, I just got a message that my brother, Speak of the Devil and He Shall Appear, was calling me on my phone, but I can't answer because it's my camera right now. Dale A., what's up? Oh, the camera's working. I'm so glad to hear it. Yep, absolutely true. Can't draw a bad dragon or a bad monster in terms of its anatomy. It's one of those things, you know, it's craziness. But I'm glad the camera's working, guys, and you're able to see this all right, because that's a pretty detailed and small little notation I've made there for the eye, just to give it scale. One of the big things that... No pun... The old man jokes come for you even when you're not trying. Just to give the dragon scale. Just put me in the home now, folks. This is where I'm at. For God's sake. Oh, Lord have mercy. But when I'm working, one of the things I think people run into when they're creating, you know, dragons, and they're trying to put this stuff together is, you know, how do I put it? You make the eyes too big on a dragon, and we get our sense of scale from the eye to body ratio. So even though a whale's eye is incredibly large, it, in context, like an elephant's eye, it gives the entire, you know, animal scale. And that is what, you know, for me, is a key to giving that sense of size and scale and scope to these kinds of creatures and characters. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, painting is fun. Thank you guys for supporting Nosfero the Crypt Walker. The link is in the top of the description. At the bottom of the description are a whole bunch of independent books that I'd love for you guys to do me the favor of checking them out and seeing if there's something in there that you might want to support. Because this is a people-powered movement of individuals who care about and support artwork. And I want to say thank you to all of my channel members. I want to say thank you to all of you guys who tune into these streams and support our work. You are 100% appreciated, and I could not do what I do without you guys doing what you do. So thank you so much. And I hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday, and this is hopefully adding to your enjoyment of it. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Yeah, I love sharing this whole process with you guys. It was one of the things that I really did enjoy about teaching, and I always enjoy when I find myself in a situation where I'm doing the teaching stuff, which is seeing just how things are done. I love to watch channels of people doing things I don't know how to do and just kind of learning from them. And even if I'm never going to do it, there's something fun about that for me. Let me see here. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's like, it's weird if you think about your painting in various stages. Sometimes you want to let those happy little accidents hold out. We cannot forget wyverns that are built kind of like birds. Oh, there you go. I will follow back Michelle Bowers. Anyone else want to follow me on Twitch X? There you go. There's the link right there. European dragons look like dinosaurs, and Asian dragons look like snakes. Yeah, and I love both for different reasons, because they both mean slightly different things. You know, the one thing that always I was found fascinating, that when Joseph Campbell was talking about the European dragon and what it was about, is he said that it was a metaphor for binding oneself to one's own ego, because the dragon, and I'd never thought of this before, he says the dragon guards both treasure and a virgin, and the dragon can make use of neither of them. He just holds on to them. So they are essentially always are forced to remain potential, and they cannot become anything that adds to the world or enriches it. And so the knight is going there to kind of liberate things that are merely being held and possessed with no use. They're not being allowed to have any kind of use or vitality in their life. And so I think that's why the rescue is such an important and iconic aspect of this kind of painting. And I'm grateful for the opportunity for every painting, you know, for every day I get to paint. I'm always grateful for it. And I love knowing that the work that I do, whether it's the books, you know, like Nosfero, or the art books, which are also available on that campaign at the top tier, are going to good homes. And I know they're going to good homes when you guys back them. And they're becoming a part of somebody's library or somebody's view when they get up in the morning to go about their day. And that's a thing that I really love, you know? It's the fun part. Yep. Dragons are just great bastards. Who are we to judge them? Yeah, you're right. You know, we shouldn't judge them. You know, we shouldn't. It's their journey. You know, they're having their journey, trying to figure things out. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, and actually, you guys can't even see that, what I'm doing right now. I apologize. Let me raise that up a little bit. There you go. So that's, sorry for the shake there. That is for, there are no fries with that camera shake. But just putting those little highlights on it that are going to make it sing as a piece, that's the fun part for me. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. What's up, Simply Green? Channel member, good morning. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great Sunday. Get to a certain point and you're just glad you wake up in the morning. Amen. Amen. Damn it, you got me started with the God Dragon, so now I'm distracted. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate that. That's great. Thank you. I'm just making sure I'm caught up with everything. All right, there we go. Yeah, as you guys know, as always, when I'm streaming, I'm spinning plates, and I thank you guys so much. All my channel members, thank you, because I'm spinning so many plates when I'm doing this stuff. Seeing all of you guys and putting your names in the credits is always a reminder of the support that you guys give, so thank you so much. Here we go. And then make that sort of come around that way. And it's going to start to take on this real aggressive and intense, quality to it. The derailleur got derailed. And Bassmaster Dan points up. There you have it. Yeah. Well, I must have a gift for that. Holy cow. It's too funny. There we are. Let's let this, and acrylics are really an amazing medium, particularly heavy body acrylics, because with all the technology that we've put into paint making and the folks who make paint, and I thank them, there have been so many innovations, and one of them is just how much opacity you can now get and how fluidly you can move them when you add water. It used to break them down too much for it to make paintings of any lasting sort of quality unless you were painting on paper, but now it really, I mean, the stuff I'm able to do, it just is so much less, the way it handles the light is so much more beautiful in terms of the originals, and it's just less clunky than acrylics used to be. Do you know what I mean? It feels less ham-fisted, and that's so important. Timmy Mello says, over the woman's nature and make her his wife to then build a family. There you go. Yeah. Oh, I read it out of sequence. Someone said the dragon is the untamed nature of the maiden. The knight is said to seek after. Hence the saying, slaying the dragon to save the maiden is the metaphor for man asserting his authority. Wow, fascinating. Timmy, geez, man. See, and you guys think I'm heavy on a Sunday. Shanth, what inspires your color choices? They strike me as so otherworldly. Really set me back in my chair when I first saw your work. Wow, thank you so much, Spaceman. I really do appreciate that. You guys are great. Gosh. Well, first of all, let's start with this. When I was young, I was absolutely terrified of color, painting with color. I always did black and white artwork. And then I realized something, that I had this incredibly subtle color palette of very grayed out and browned out colors. And I realized that browned out colors can never make truly beautiful, bright colors. They're almost beautiful in and of themselves, but when you mix them, you don't really get any intensity. But intense colors, like tubes of the complementary colors. I have a tube of purple. I don't mix it. I have a tube of green. I have a tube of orange. I don't mix it. Cadmium orange. By mixing those colors with their complement, you would get some of the most incredibly beautiful muddy colors, because the mud is the dynamic interplay of those two complements. And so people are always surprised when they see how bright I start with my colors, but it's because I want the colors to interact with one another and not mute that interaction unless it's by choice, by selecting it. And it's the same thing as far as using black paint. Black is a color as white is a color, and there are even different colors of black that you can get. And when you see an artist, like, artists being told, young artists, don't use black, don't use the black tube, I want to show them, and I have, Anders Zorn, whose palette was black, yellow ochre, cad red, and white. And he could give you the impression that you were seeing blue in some of his paintings, because that color is so rich. The way it absorbs light is something special that it does. And to take that out of your artillery as an artist, out of your toolkit as an artist, is absurd unless you know what you're losing when you do so. And so, yeah, you don't have to use any colors. You don't have to use white when you paint. You don't have to use blue. You don't have to do anything. But don't think that you're not surrendering something when you make your choices. You always, I mean, making choices is, to go down one path as opposed to another is, that's one of the sacrifices of actually making a life, is making choices. And if you're not willing to make choices, and sometimes that choice is not being forced into a false choice, weirdly enough, then you're going to find yourself in this state of stasis where nothing can happen. And sometimes the biggest, choice that I could make on a day is either to, go outside and go for a walk and sort of see what happens. And the other aspect of it is to fire up a stream and see what happens with the painting as you guys watch. And that's what you're getting, when you're here. Only purple isn't a color. It's more of an accent. There you go. Well, for me, the purple I use that I really like is this purple called dioxazine purple. And diox purple is, it's just got this, when you add white to it, it gets this really intense, luminous quality, but it's so incredibly dark. So as far as the colors on my palette go, it is the darkest value. But I have a tendency to not want to mix yellow against it unless absolutely necessary. I like to mess around with having greens and blues and things like that before I bring yellow into the equation. But can you guys start to see how the structure is coming together on this dragon? And I like I said, I hope the resolution is good enough for you guys to have a good experience watching this. I mean, whenever I stream, first and foremost, it's about, I can paint without a camera, but when I paint with a camera, I want you guys to have the best experience possible. Because, people, one of the number one things that leads to people backing Nosfero and getting excited about backing my book is seeing the artwork. And whether that's on Twitter or, back in the day, Instagram, which I'm still on, but I just don't post there as much. That's the thing that excites people, gets people excited about subscribing to the channel, and all that stuff is that sharing process. So I want it to be the best possible way for you to experience what I'm doing with this work. Oh, this is going to be a fun one, guys. This is going to be a fun one to paint with you guys. Yeah, it does sound like one, doesn't it? Yeah, indeed. Sometimes the move is to make fire by any means just to see what happens. Yep, you're absolutely right. Sean started out using a fantasy color palette. Yes, I did. Yeah, I heard fire up. That's right. Absolutely right, guys. All right, so listen, folks. I have to start heading over to the airport right now because I got to pick up my wife and daughter who are coming in town, and I can't wait to see them. So I got to go pick them up from the airport, and so I got to wrap up. But hopefully this was a oh no, this is going to be the painting, Lloyd. This is going to be the painting. So there was already a sketch. So this is the start. Yeah, this is the start, my friend. So yeah, we're on it. So yeah, I got to go run and pick them up. Muddy, thanks, Sean. That's textural feeling I could put my finger on. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Michael Deitch, it's great to see you, my friend. Take care. I will see you guys very, very soon. Look at all the support in the chat for you, Past Master Dan. I mean, you can't go wrong there. But I will see you guys very soon. As I always like to say, from the heart of Lovecraft Country and the birthplace of American religious liberty, my name is Shanth Enjeti. You've been watching Shanth Enjeti Art. So speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace. And remember this, guys, and I should say peace be with you on this fine Sunday. And if you are a channel member, and if you are somebody who is supporting this channel as you have, your name is in the credits that I'm about to play right now. So I want to thank you for your support. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sharing all of this stuff. And yeah, let's have those custom emojis. You guys are the best, and I will see you very, very soon. All right, guys, take care.